In a world where movie ideas roam free, two friends dare to dream bigger. Welcome to Greenlight This, the podcast where bold pitches meet big screen magic. Every week we cook up wild new concepts, cast the stars, and imagine what could be. Because if Hollywood won't make them, we will. Grab your popcorn, it's time to greenlight the next great film. My name is Landon Davis, but you can call me Squiddy, and I'm here with the Robin to my Catwoman, Travis Medore.
I'm Travis. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoyed Friday's primer for Batman.
I really appreciate your attempt at a Batman voice.
Thank you.
Yes, if you haven't given it a listen, we would love you to go back, catch out our Batman primer from Friday on Halloween. It gives us just the importance that we have for that character. And gives a great breakdown before we jump down into our first full cinematic universe of what could have been. So I think, Travis, we can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, so, Greenlighters, grab your gobstoppers. It's time to greenlight something new.
All right, hit the lights. Roll camera. Wait. Hold on. Where's the script?
All right, Greenlighters, for the next few weeks, we are traveling back to an alternate timeline where Tim Burton starts the DC universe. Travis, we have arrived in the late 1991.
Ooh.
The world is pale. It's not as magical because we haven't been born yet.
Oh.
We are in a meeting with Tim Burton, Warner Brothers, and DC Comics. Tim is about to start filming on Batman Returns. There are two things that made this movie a little bit of a struggle for the theater and for the studio and for DC Comics. They're not going to realize this until it's after been released. Do you know what these two problems might be?
Oh, man. So thinking back to Batman Returns, this is the second Michael Keaton film done by Tim Burton back in the 90s, for those who are still unaware. I will say there are parts of it that seemed extremely over-sexualized, especially for like a family kind of superhero movie. Like
it's Danny DeVito. You can say
yeah,
that.
It's Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
I don't get it. No, it's Danny. He gray skin, bleeding black blood. That was
And then with that said, probably maybe some of the gore factor. I feel like Danny DeVito's performance was a little visceral in some scenes.
I don't know. What? You don't want your penguin eating a raw fish and it smothered across his face? Oh, okay. Yes, you hit the nail right on the head. The two major issues is, one, the amount of sexuality maybe that's pushed. And then, the violent tone. Everybody dies at some point in that movie. Max
Shrek gets electrocuted.
Penguin ends up floating up in some ice water. Catwoman dies, and she was so beloved in the film that they had to make a alternate ending to the original film to prove that she was living.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That original little cutscene of her looking at the moon, that was an addition after the first few views.
Oh, that's fun.
So those are the two things. I don't think the heart of the story would change that much with a few tweaks.
Yeah.
I think it really would just be maybe the penguin doesn't bite off a guy's nose. And
right?
Maybe Michelle Pfeiffer doesn't have to always be, I don't know, super sexy in each shot. But
I'm sorry, Michelle, you're too sexy. Tone it down.
You can aim the camera in slightly different shots. But those are probably the two issues that just need to be tweaked just a little bit. And that movie honestly would have been huge. It already was huge, but it would blow up, I think, so much more. Your partnerships with McDonald's and things at the time would have gone completely fine, and nobody would have been as worried. So after the release of Batman Returns, he had two projects that he wanted to work on next. Tim did. He wanted to do a solo Batwoman movie, and he wanted to start working on the third Batman movie.
Gotcha.
But we have kind of talked about this off mic that we needed to start building up a team. As much as we wanted Tim Burton to be our Kevin Feige, he needs a team to work with him. If you want to introduce that to everyone, Travis?
Yeah, so with the team of people that we've discussed off camera for Tim's Burton-Verse, we have decided that Director 1 should be Guillermo del Toro, And then director 2, or just the co-directors, would be Sam Raimi. Guillermo was very early on in his career, but he was still working and had a lot of good movies still coming out. I mean, I enjoy almost everything I've seen from Guillermo.
Yeah, in the 90s, I think he'd only done like 2 or 3 projects around this time, so it was definitely early, but Sam was, I think, very active in directing and producing.
Then you have Sam Raimi, who, for those who aren't aware, he did the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, as well as, I believe, the Evil Dead series.
Yes, I think you're right. I don't know.
Dead.
He's done a lot.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's done like some horror, some like superhero, kind of like supernatural stuff. But yeah, 2 great directors that we think could be able to match Tim Burton's vibe with keeping the universe like matching.
Absolutely. I'd say these directors make kind of our perfect executive team.
Yeah.
Tim would handle Gotham and the darker side of the DC universe. Sam would handle Metropolis, Central City, the lighter, the chipper side. And then Guillermo will get to take on the magic of the DC universe. Yes. But to help direct these movies, because 3 directors can't pump out a cinematic universe as quickly as we would see with Marvel in the last decade plus. They're going to need a few more directors. So the first director that we're going to bring on to join their team is Barry Sonnenfeld. May not recognize his name, but you probably know his work. He directed the Men in Black movies.
So good.
And then he also did the Addams Family Reunions. Reunion, I think. Values movies. So the 2 90s Addams Family movies,
which are so good,
were also part of his work. And then as a surprise, this is movie we'll be talking about in part 2, but I wanted to bring on Robert Zemeckis to help with our Flash movie. I think he'll nail the movie we've talked about for that. And then I'll mention, besides these guys, Danny Elfman would kind of be our lead composer. There is, I think, opportunity for somebody like Hans Zimmerman to work off of what Danny's style already is, but he already set the mood with the first 2 Batman movies, so it just makes sense for him to help build the world.
And I think Alan Silvestri would be able to help accompany that too, and he's done a lot of movies with like Robert Zemeckis as well. Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be a great team there. And then writers, so this wouldn't come up for about another decade, but Kevin Smith. Who's infamously a massive nerd. He actually was going to write the weird Superman movie that we'll talk about later. But I think he would be a great writer. And then Bruce Timm, who a lot of people aren't going to know, but Bruce Timm was the creator of the Batman, the animated series at that time.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The reason I just say that he'd be a great writer at this time is I think he would help balance out what is going to be happening in his animated universe at this time.
Okay.
Versus what's going to be happening live action. And he knows the characters. He's a passionate nerd from his work. So I think that's why it's a great team of writers there to help start our process. So then, before we start talking about what movies we've discussed that we're going to start launching this universe with, I'm going to talk about the little bit we know of Tim Burton's movies with Batman 3 and the Catwoman movie.
Yeah, because if I am not mistaken, they got pretty far with planning Batman 3, right?
Yeah, so a lot of, if you look at like behind the scene footage, you will see Michael Keaton was still shown as the Batman figure when they were designing new suits and things like that. So it made it quite far. It wasn't until one meeting after the problems we mentioned earlier that Tim basically had a conversation with Warner Brothers where he was like, you guys don't want me to do the next movie, do you? And that's how we got Bat Nipples. So Burton's Batman isn't a huge difference from what we know as Batman Forever. His first version of the script was it would have been Batman Continues. He wanted to focus more on bringing in Robin Williams as the Riddler. So that was going to be the main villain. For anyone that doesn't know, Robin Williams was actually offered the Joker in 1989's Batman, but Warner Brothers offered it to him to lure Jack Nicholson to actually sign his contract and Jack Nicholson be the Joker. So
that's right. They kind of pulled a mean move on him.
Yeah, and I think Tim always kind of wanted to make it up to Robin by having him be Riddler. Robin Williams played some fantastic villains in his life. Very dark, scary. I believe he did a serial killer on like Law and Order or
Oh, really?
CSI, one of those shows. Because I remember seeing it when it released in the mid-aughts. And it was terrifying. He did
Wow.
he did a great job.
Yeah, I remember just like seeing the movie August Rush because he played like a bad guy in that one, and I was just like, "Oh, this is great, Robin Williams." It's like, wait, he's the bad guy?
Yeah, I think it's fun to see a well-known, great, like fun, good actor then try to show the darker side of the acting. Yeah. But yeah, so we wanted Robin Williams to be the Riddler, and other than that, the story was going to be pretty similar to what we end up getting. The big one was the Catwoman film. So we, as part of our research, we watched the Halle Berry Catwoman movie.
Oh my goodness. Oh my good golly goodness, people.
And it was a mistake. It was a mistake from the get-go.
That movie is a mistake.
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
us sitting down to watch it. The entire movie itself is a mistake.
Absolutely. So the movie went through multiple scripts. The little bit that I've been able to see from what the writer said is he wasn't getting a lot of feedback from Tim. I think Tim wasn't as passionate. Tim's first version was something along the lines of Catwoman is going to leave Gotham, go to a small town. He wanted to make a very low-budget film. It was going to be almost like a more of a noir, crime-esque movie. And then between the studio and the writer, we enter something that changes a lot. He goes to more of a Vegas-like West Coast city. That's where Catwoman goes. It is run by a team of superheroes who are actually all bad. Very The Boys-esque that we see on the Amazon show. Catwoman ends up becoming kind of a folk hero to everyone in town and gets the women of the city to rise up like V for Vendetta, all with cat masks, and overthrow the bad team of heroes.
Women empowerment.
I don't even know what to respond.
A good women empowering movement, like movie, scene, whatever, could be done well. But unfortunately, we've seen so many bad takes on it. It's hard to kind of take the situation seriously.
I think it was a mix of, at the time when they were working on the script, Tim not wanting to do it from being burned with a Batman movie. And then it also not being Michelle Pfeiffer. And like everything just slowly, I think, worked against this movie. So let me introduce the first movie in our cinematic universe.
Yes.
Would be releasing hopefully around 1994. We are aiming for the third Batman movie.
What should have been.
What should have been, yes. I've named this one Batman Endures. Kind of playing off of the Batman Continues original script name. Bruce and Selina are happily dating, but both struggle with their masked personas. While out to the circus, a riddle appears across the screen, but Bruce, unable to answer in time, witnesses the Flying Graysons fall to their deaths, leaving an orphaned Dick Grayson. City officials across Gotham receive riddles, and not all can answer in time. Batman finds a riddle leading to DA Harvey Dent, but arriving too late, Harvey is deformed and turned into Two-Face. Bruce finds Selina is still drawn to crime, as Chase Meridian introduces young Dick Grayson to Bruce, unlocking flashbacks to his own first year as Batman. Bruce is drawn to Chase Meridian, who Catwoman attacks, leading to the two masked figures fighting and Selina leaving Gotham. Dick becomes Robin and joins Bruce in fighting and taking on Two-Face and the Riddler, with a final riddle hinting that the Joker still lives. I would note off of that short summary that we're gonna have Two-Face be a secondary figure, kind of like what we see eventually in the Dark Knight movie.
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams, we love him, but he was not drawing big box office numbers in the 90s. So I think focusing more on having Riddler around is going to entice people more to come.
Yeah.
And then part of the studio's want was they wanted a love triangle. So that's where Chase Meridian first came from in the movie. Kind of playing off of that, I think there would have been something where Bruce is getting an interest in Chase Meridian while Batman is more interested in Catwoman. Because secretly everyone's bipolar in Gotham City.
Right.
But yeah, did you have any thoughts or opinions on the script there?
No, I mean, I definitely like that it still brings in Billy D. Williams's Two-Face. Like, so I have the continuation comic that kind of covers this. And a lot of it doesn't really deal a lot with Selena Kyle. Like, she's in there for just a little bit. It is definitely more dealing with Two-Face, so it is kind of fun seeing the parallels of the potential script of like the ideas that they had versus like the public comic books. And it's, productions change, scripts change, storylines change, so it is fun to see all the different parallels they have going on.
Yeah, and I think that comic book that was released in the last 10 years kind of sets up what we would have seen from Robin and the style that Robin would have taken on, Riddler, Two-Face, and it would have just been a little bit different, but it would have stuck much more to the classic tone of a Tim Burton movie. Let's get into who we are casting as our new characters for this. So first up, we've already kind of mentioned it, but Riddler would be played by Robin Williams. Two-Face is going to be played by Billy Williams. The Williamses, they're just the villains in this. Robin, or Dick Grayson. Originally, he was not going to be Dick Grayson, but I just wanted to kind of retcon that a little bit. But it was the person who was first cast to be Robin in the movies, and that was Marlon Wayans. I think he's a great actor. He just recently is doing that His or Him movie that's like the horror football movie.
Okay.
It looks really intense. He's like the villain in it. So he definitely has a lot of acting range. And as we see him in the comic, he's got like the hood and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think they would have been a fun version of Robin to see on screen. And Dick Grayson is the original Robin. He should be the first one that we're seeing in a major motion picture. And then Chase Meridian, who was played by
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman in the movie we got. Originally, it was going to be Renee Russo who was cast as it. A fantastic actress, but she was only going to do it if Michael Keaton returned to Batman, which sadly we didn't get. So that is setting up our first movie. This holds a lot closer to Burton's original version, with not a ton of changes. But while Tim has been in production working on Batman, we had Sam Raimi go ahead and start working on Superman.
And if I remember correctly, that was supposed to be Nicolas Cage's Superman in that original concept, right?
Yeah, so that era has a lot of crazy stuff, including some legal changing in like who had connection to what. But yes, at one point, Nicolas Cage was leading the production of a Superman movie, where he wanted to be Superman. It is one of the weirdest scripts. I don't know if there is truly anything salvageable of this movie. That's
really saying
because
something.
Superman was going to impregnate Lois. He would eventually die in the movie from Doomsday, and then his fetus would like instantly grow, and in a few days he would be back to being an adult version of his self that just died.
What?
Superman was going to have a robot buddy who may have been his childhood teddy bear that eventually becomes like a mech Wonder Woman suit thing, kind of like we seen Wonder Woman 1989.
What
and
kind of drug trip is
that
this?
would have helped him get his powers because he would have been without powers because in the womb he wouldn't have had the sun. Something like that. And then Lex and Brainiac are the two villains. They would have merged and become Lex-Ack or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and this would have happened years later. This was more being worked on like 97, 98. We're trying to aim for a much sooner release around 95. Yeah. So I think it's best that we just scrap everything and...
I will agree to that.
Yeah, Travis, if you want to give us the introduction to Superman?
Yes. Let's look at something better than what was originally planned. So, the title for this, Superman, Son of Krypton. So, the summary. Metropolis celebrates 2 years of Superman saving the city. While Lois and a reporter pool watches the parade, Toymaker attacks. As toys rob citizens, Superman rushes into action, but the Toyman escapes. At the Daily Planet, Lois introduces Jimmy and Clark to 2 visiting reporters from DC, John Corbin and Vicky Vale. They are interested in Lex Luthor and his plans to run for office. John sneaks into a LexCorp facility when he is severely injured and a scientist puts Corbin's brain inside a robot body. He is now Metallo. Meanwhile, Clark and Lois discuss their relationship out to dinner. Toyman attacks again. When Superman arrives, Metallo attacks. Vicky and Jimmy explore the same LexCorp facility. They see Superman trapped from the kryptonite infused inside Metallo. Lois investigates Toyman, discovering he was the owner of Winslow Toys, a shop closed to LexCorp expansion. Toyman attacks LexCorp Tower. Vicky and Jimmy free Superman, and good defeats evil. In the end, Superman speaks to Lex, dropping a chip from inside Metallo, warning he should not run for office as his ego would be his downfall. And the chip clearly says LexCorp on it.
Woo!
Woo!
Okay, so I love this story. When we started kind of working on the script,
Yeah.
I loved the idea of let's choose the heroes or the villains in Superman's world that don't get as much attention.
Right? Yeah.
Out of 10 movies that Superman has been in, worked in, we've had multiple versions of Zod. We've had Lex pop up every time. But we don't get to explore the weirder ones, kind of like with a Batman Rogues Gallery. Superman has some fun side characters. And from like the animated show back when I was a kid, I loved seeing Toymaker and Metallo. I think those are two fun ideas. And yeah, I just loved the idea to bring those in. The other one that I really got excited about was getting to bring back Vicky Vale.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't recognize the name, Vicky Vale was the love interest for Michael Keaton's Batman in the first Batman movie in 1989. And she's always been a famous reporter across DC Comics. So this is, I think, a fun way to introduce that the worlds are connected.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not
just
have
like
that
the
explained
first,
in the trailers.
Just the first small nod of, hey, this is all one universe.
Absolutely. Travis, do you want to introduce our cast for this?
Yes. So, starting off, we've picked Patrick Swayze as our Clark Kent and Superman. Our Lex Luthor will be played by the phenomenal Billy Zane. Good old Jimmy Olsen is going to be Jaleel White, who, for those who are unfamiliar with Jaleel White, he is Steve Urkel. Yeah,
yep, Urkel. He was huge at
Urkel,
this time.
Yeah. And I think that would give him a great chance to kind of step away from Steve Urkel and try to, do something a little bit different.
Similar, maybe a little bit more serious.
Yeah, because I know he's always wanted to be different from
I've seen him in a few shows in the aughts and tens and stuff, and he's a fantastic actor. Yeah. I think one of the reasons we talked about Patrick Swayze for our Superman Clark Kent is he is the hot love interest, and he would have the long hair that we see in the Nicolas Cage version, but he also can still be the tough guy. He's,
absolutely.
He's done all those different varieties of roles. So I think that those are some fantastic casting.
Yeah. Keeping our same Vicky Vale, Kim Basinger. Yeah. And then we have 3 options that we've decided to each cast separately.
Yeah. So our roles of Lois Lane, Toymaker, and the Metallo character. We just kind of wanted to see who we each would come up with. Travis, what is your pitches for those 3 characters?
So going into this, knowing that this would be kind of like a Tim, Sam Raimi, Guillermo del Toro, kind of 90s, like later 90s. So my Lois Lane casting is Winona Ryder.
Ooh, okay. Don't we have her officially on something else?
I don't believe so. I checked.
Okay, I've just fan casted her as something else, I think, in my head. So we may get to that in another episode.
That'll be fun to see who you decided to cast her as in your universe.
Yeah.
Toymaker. The moment I saw their name, I was just like, yes, 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 and yes. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
So, okay, Philip Seymour Hoffman as
Toyman,
yes, or as Toymaker, yes, that is really good casting, yeah.
Yeah, like the moment I saw him, I feel like he can just bring so much energy, so much weight, so much emotion to what would be considered a simple character, but really make it his own. And he's such a great actor in his own regard. So yeah, I would have loved to see what he could do with a character like Toymaker.
Okay, and who are you bringing to the table for Metallo?
For Metallo, this was kind of hard. I decided to choose Cuba Gooding Jr.
Okay, I like that. That's a good call. Okay, I can get behind that.
Thank you.
I will introduce my cast.
Yes.
So for my lowest, to go against your Winona Ryder, who I do love, I thought who was pretty big in the 90s, who would be great to bring on stage. She has the range. Julia Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah, huge character or huge actress at the time. I think it would be a great. We're not replacing a redhead with someone else. It gets to be a redhead still. And then going into our Toyman. My first thought is rest in peace, and we just watched the documentary on him as of recording, but the John Candy.
Ooh, okay.
I actually see him. I think it would have been fun to see him take on a darker role at the time.
Yeah.
But if you're not paying attention to time, he died in 94. This would have been 95. So I think it's one of those that I could have seen a director planning on him and then it just not quite living up to it as he passed, like not being able to do it in time for production. So I thought of another fantastic actor at that time. We loved a movie he did about 3 years before this, and he was huge on TV at the time, but Wayne Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to go with just a version of Toyman where he has been broken down by corporations and trying to keep his local little ma and pa, toy store open. He just ends up breaking down into doing crime. And then for Metallo, I chose Gary Sinise. Who was Sergeant Dan.
Yeah, Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. I've always liked versions of Metallo where he has been like ex-military or like that's kind of been a feature to him. And Gary brings that to his roles. So I think it'd be a fun version of him also playing a tortured character. And I was tempted to mess with a few of the more infamous actors who have played robots at the time.
Yeah.
But I did not want to go that way. Let me introduce our second film.
Okay.
Our next film after Superman. It's going to be our Catwoman movie. So we're finally getting to the next Tim Burton project. This would have aimed for 1996. Summary is Catwoman has left Gotham and fled to Happy Harbor, seeking peace and to relax. What could possibly go wrong? She notices that along the small shops, there are a lot of high-end jewels and fine art pieces. She feels the call back in her to start stealing again, but she fights off the desires. As she explores the shop, she notices a familiar face, Priscilla Rich, a model who had worked for Max, her previous boss, nicknamed the Cheetah of the Runway. Selena goes one night to steal one of the jewels that she'd seen in the stores, but it has already been taken by a young man known as Jason Todd. She chases him across town, and they end up coming upon Priscilla trading weapons for jewels with a man called the Black Mask. Black Mask plans to use the weapons in Gotham. Selena trains Jason as a persona known as Red to help her take down Black Mask and Cheetah in their criminal pursuits. And Argus arrives to take the two criminals after they've been taken down away and return the jewels that were missing from the collection. Selena sends Jason to Gotham. As he rides off on his motorbike, she holds her stomach, looking down in shock. She mutters, "Shit." I love the idea of it. Again, how do we do a Catwoman movie that feels so different from what we ended up getting? I wanted to do all of my gay brethren the favor of making sure that we still get Chris O'Donnell.
Perfect.
Spoiler alert, but Chris O'Donnell would be the Jason Todd Red figure in this, which is a member of the Bat family. And I loved this idea. Happy Harbor, for anyone that's not a big DC Comics head, is the original home of the first Justice League. The Justice League was originally based there. So I think it's just a fantastic little setup. Argus, we know in more modern DC is quite common. We just kind of need to set up that first government agency. Yeah. This time the characters that we were going to compare are Black Mask, are Cheetah, and Rick Flag characters. So Travis, what is your casting?
Okay, so My Black Mask. I went with William Fichtner. I feel like he's definitely a lesser known name, but he's one of those, he has those faces that you will recognize.
William Fichtner. Okay, yeah, he is. What was it? The Dark Knight? Was that the one?
Yeah,
he was in?
he was
Or
a banker in like The Dark Knight.
Yep, that's right in the beginning. I definitely confused him with another guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has like Kevin Bacon-esque looks,
Right?
In a way, but yeah, okay, very interesting. He would have been pretty young at the time, so I like that. I could see that casting for Black Mask.
And so for our Priscilla Rich, our cheetah, kind of keeping on tones with our Chris O'Donnell, I went with Alicia Silverstone.
Okay.
Still bringing her into the Batman movies, because honestly, I really liked her. It's a shame that she got just a lot of harassment on the set of Batman and Robin.
So I definitely have Alicia coming up in a different casting.
Oh, that's going to be fun to see what
so
that one is.
We are definitely like matching.
Yeah.
Okay, and then who did you choose for Rick Flag?
Rick Flag. This one was really hard. I originally had one name in mind, but then I completely flipped the script once I saw this person's name. I'm going with Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh my gosh, why can I not match that name?
24.
Okay.
The Lost Boys.
Okay. I like that. That's a good casting. I like that. Gosh, he would have been so young at this point.
Right.
So mine, so I went to Black Mask. Black Mask is classically part of like the mob system within like DC versions. I wanted somebody whose voice just stands out so much. So I went with Ray Liotta.
See, and I actually had the thought of Ray Liotta at one point, but I was like, he's too known. I kind of wanted to pick someone a little lesser known.
Yeah, I wanted, because we have Michelle Pfeiffer, I felt like we needed another big name, so I really like the idea of bringing in Ray Liotta as this character. And then for my cheetah, I went with Annette Bening.
Okay.
Who just, is fantastic, and I just really think that she would have been great. The other reason that I really liked Annette Bening is she was originally supposed to be Catwoman.
Oh, was she?
She was supposed to be cast in Batman Returns, but kind of playing off of this movie, she got pregnant right before Catwoman was supposed to appear in the movies, and Tim was like, "Okay, we'll recast," and that's how Michelle got the job.
Wow.
So kind of giving her a payback for that. And then my Rick Flag, I went with a classic of military movies, especially at this time, is R. Lee Emery.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a good choice.
Yeah, I wanted a little bit of an older, maybe a Rick Flag senior. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, R. Lee Emery, fantastic casting for Rick Flag.
Yeah.
So I think we've got some great options here for our main casting. Travis, do you want to introduce our next film?
Yes. Our next film, Wonder Woman. This should be kind of in the year range of 1996, so just following shortly after. Our summary, the beautiful island of Themyscira. Diana lives happily with the other Amazonians. Under the rule of her mother, Queen Hippolyta, the Amazonians have been safe from the world of man. But Wonder Woman has dreams from a spellcaster, Zatanna, warning the world of man is in danger. Circe the witch has awoken. Circe uses her magic to turn men into ani-men. Animal men hybrids. Diana leaves her paradise and travels to the world of man. She finds Zatanna, and together they head to Gateway City. They find Circe planning to sacrifice her ani-men so she can enter hell and retrieve her missing soul.
Woo! Woo! Okay, so the reason I love this story is one of the first things we talked about is, okay, so we need Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And Zatanna, I think for both of us, is one of our favorite women in DC Comics. She's a fantastic spellcaster. She plays off of the old trope of like, what if magicians in Vegas were actually like powerful. Her father, Zatar, I think was his name.
Zatar, yeah.
is also another spellcaster. So if you don't know who Zatanna is, she just has the classic fishnet leggings, the top that looks like a tux, and then
Like, she looks like a Las Vegas female magician from, like, what would you say, the 70s? 70s,
60s,
80s?
70s. Yeah, she has the top hat. She has, I mean, basically a Wonder Woman like bikini piece bottom. Like that's kind of what's
But she
going
can
on.
do real magic, and she kicks butt.
Yeah, she has an actual wand. Just fantastic character. And I like the idea of Zatanna reaching out through magic and getting Wonder Woman that way. And then Cersei is another fun character. We never got to see her with our 2 Wonder Woman movies.
No, we haven't.
And I liked the idea of these Animen, which are an actual thing in the comics for Cersei. It feels something right up the version of Guillermo to make these Animen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in my mind, I feel like they're either full Ninja Turtles, like Return to the Ooze or whatever movie, where you get the... Not Bebop and Rocksteady, but gosh, what were the two characters for that movie names?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, because you have the giant tortoise and then the dog.
It was like a tortoise snapping turtle, and then I think it was a fox?
It was a fox. I was thinking dog, but yeah. I loved those. They were such a weird Jim Henson, mascots that were made for those movies. So I think it'd be something like that. Or I could almost see them do more where it's like a sleeve is like that, like an arm sleeve.
Oh,
and then like partial facial coverings to match them. And you could just go wild with doing like boar and buffalo or whatever, just mixing together like 5 or 6 different things. Our agreed upon beforehand was we needed to figure out our Wonder Woman. So we decided on Carrie Ann Moss. Who would become huge in just a few years with The Matrix.
Yes.
She just feels like she'd be a fantastic cast for Wonder Woman at this time. And so we just need to cast Zatanna, Cersei, and Queen Hippolyta. So, Travis, let me tell you who I've cast.
Yes.
So Zatanna, I kind of want somebody again that felt like they'd been in that universe before. She would be the perfect age at the time. I went with Jennifer Connelly.
Okay.
Who, if you're not matching the name, she is the child.
She's the main lead.
The main lead in Labyrinth.
Yeah.
In the Labyrinth movie. Fantastic actress. And I just think it'd be fun. She's got the thick, long black hair.
Yeah.
Very much like Zatanna. I think she'd be great. Then for Cersei, I wanted a return of a classic member of the DC family. Somebody who was iconic. She did 2 movies that I love in the 90s. Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt as Cersei. Like, I think if you just told her, hey, so all of these monsters are your minions, she would just not even need a script.
I'm going to be taking over the world with them.
She would just not need the script yet.
Right?
She would just be like, okay, my darlings. And she'd be like, you big one, just pick me up.
As one of them's just like, oh, I've been turned into a cow. Can I be excused?
Yeah. An unintentional call out is the fact of the Animen, and that, I love that for Emperor's New Groove. And then for Queen Hippolyta, I just wanted who's another fabulous woman who I feel like could in a way feel the opposite of Eartha Kitt. Cher. That's my call. A lot of Cher's movies in this era, she just, her hair is massive. And I appreciate that as someone that hasn't had hair in the last 2 decades. She just had massive hair, and I could just see the huge crown piece and just her chilling on this throne, her being this motherly figure to Jennifer Connelly. I think it would be great. But yes, Travis, who did you cast?
Okay. Honestly, after you said Cher for Queen Hippolyta, I'm kind of rethinking my own casting for Queen Hippolyta, but we'll get there. Starting off with Zatanna, I went very Tim Burton-esque with this. I decided to cast Christina Ricci.
I know the name. Christina Ricci. Why am I not? Oh my gosh, why am I so bad at names tonight?
Wednesday.
Okay, original.
Casper.
She's already been cast.
Oh. She's
in next week's episode for sure. She was one that we did talk about.
So yeah, stay tuned for next week.
You must have forgotten. I think we
I
did
probably
about that
forgotten. So Christina's already been cast for something else. I do love Jennifer Connelly though, so that's a great. Let's keep her.
Yep.
For Circe, I wanted someone who can kind of match Carrie-Anne Moss's energy, so I went with Charlize Theron.
Okay. I like that. Okay. I also, she's one that I forget was acting in the 90s.
Right?
Because in my mind, I sometimes even forget that she's so much older than us. I'm like, oh yeah, she's like what? 35, 40 maybe. And then it's like, oh no, like she's been acting for a good minute.
So yeah, I feel like she can definitely keep up with like Carrie-Anne Moss as a Wonder Woman.
Yeah, okay.
And then so Queen Hippolyta, I went with Helena Bonham Carter.
Helena, I do.
Helena's so great, but the other person that just came to mind when you mentioned Cher is Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep is really good, and we actually just watched Death Becomes Her last night, and I do love Meryl Streep in any role. I think those are all great castings, honestly.
Yeah, right?
Production has plenty to work with for sure. I am also really thrilled that we avoided Wonder Woman having a love interest in this movie.
She doesn't need no man.
One of the worst written storylines in DC, honestly, is her and Trevor. Like, I've never felt like that connected well. Compared to a Catwoman Batman, like those love interest stories can feel like something, where hers always felt like, did you really need somebody? Like you seem to be doing
like
fine,
whenever I see something where it's the Trevor and Diana love story, it always seems more like Trevor, like he has the crush on her and she's just kind of like, I'm just living my life.
Which would be really funny to see a version of him just being like, I'm just waiting for my foot popping kiss from Wonder Woman.
I'm just waiting for her to make me a man.
You know what? And I think with that, let's go ahead and we're going to go to post.
All right. Let's go to post.
Good. That's a wrap. Let's go to post.
Okay, so this week, listeners, question. What Batman movie universe would you rather live in?
Ooh. See, this is really tough because it's like, okay, what version of Gotham do I want to exist in, live in? And then along with that, it's like, oh, what villains are going to be there?
Yep. Yeah, because Gotham can be very scary in all forms, pretty much.
Except for the 60s, unless you're afraid of that for completely different reasons.
I was already going to give that answer. That had a movie, so...
It did have a movie, so it counts.
It counts, and it is the safest one.
The 60s would kind of be fun, because realistically, all the villains ever actually do is just try to steal and rob stuff, or just, like, they hypnotize someone. They're hypnotizing, like, Batman and Robin, or, like, a police officer. If you're the average Joe, and you don't own a jewelry store, you don't work in a museum...
Yep.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah, like the worst case is you're going to get a cream pie in the face from Joker, and then whatever, the Riddler is going to yell a riddle at you. Like, it's very mild, where if we're looking at Tim Burton's world, you're like, I may get dropped from a building. Yeah. And then, if you get into The Dark Knight, you're just chilling on a boat when it's like, one of these boats will blow up, and you're like, oh no. Yeah. I just was trying to commute to work today. I was doing the environment a favor.
It's like, why does, like, that, because the Dark Knight trilogy, it matches our own reality way too closely, and it's like, I don't want to keep living in this reality, so let's go somewhere else.
We're headed to the 60s, I guess.
So, anything you would like to greenlight for a listener, Squiddy?
Ooh, I am going to say we're going to be talking a lot of Batman this month.
Yeah.
And I really have been thinking a lot about Batman the Animated Series.
Really good.
That's a huge part of this for me. I want to greenlight the Almost Got Him episode.
Oh, okay.
It's a fantastic episode where I think it's 5 or 6 villains are just chilling playing cards together. And they each narrate how they almost got Batman.
Yeah.
I believe it's one that won an award. It's one that won like a daytime Oscar or something. It's just a fantastic episode, and it's been on my mind recently. So that is what I'm going to greenlight this week. What about you, Travis?
Ooh, that's so tough because now all you have me thinking about is the Grey Ghost episode where Adam West comes in, which is another phenomenal episode of the animated series. Yeah, I have Batman on the brain. I would love to greenlight something that isn't Batman related, like maybe one of the Superman movies or
You're thinking Superman Returns?
Maybe.
With Brandon Ruth?
Maybe not that one.
Ouch. After all Brandon's done for you.
I'm sorry, Brandon. Maybe one of the Christopher Reeves Superman movies.
Okay.
Like Superman 2, I think was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, his first 2 movies are great. We just don't talk about 3 and 4.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go with Superman 2.
Superman 2, I love it.
So, got a movie pitch of your own? Love these movies or think we could have cast better? Or have a question for us? Message or tag us on Blusky, Instagram, and TikTok at Greenlight This Pod. We might feature it in a future episode.
Follow us on Letterbox, where we post movie reviews, and our watch list might hold hints to what's in production. And if you enjoyed this production, leave us a 5-star review and subscribe so you don't miss the next premiere.
No trailer for next week as we are continuing the Burton-Verse Phase 1 next week. Greenlight This is self-produced, written and directed by Landon Davis and Travis Medor. Sound department, Travis Medor. Casting, us, and hopefully one day, Tim Burton, please. Music, Buccaneer by Zenial from freemusicarchive.org. Special thanks, you, our listeners, the real studio heads who greenlight every episode just by pressing play. This has been Greenlight This. Until next time.